Thank you and welcome to the show this morning. The topic this morning is migration movements, and we're fortunate to have with us to talk about the movements of people from place to place, Alana McLaughlin, who will give us some information in reference to her background, education, and some of her experiences. And then, of course, Alana, after doing that, we will have you to get into the topic of migration movements. But before we do that, let's have you to talk about your background, your education, and some of the things that were important in terms of bringing you to us this morning, recognizing that you've been with us for about, what, the last 8 years, dealing primarily with some of the things that you're dealing with now. But this is a new season, and so let's start off by talking about migration movements throughout places.
Well, as you previously stated, my name is Alana McLaughlin. I am a sophomore at the Nashville School of Arts, where I play trumpet. I am involved with Pearl Cone High School. I march in their band, and I do an array of things involving music, from piano lessons to playing trumpet. Now, my background education that got me here is I've always been a gifted student. Here in Nashville, they have an encore program where gifted learners do, extracurricular activities to exercise their mind a bit. And I knew from a young age that speaking and sharing knowledge was something that I wanted to do, and that's what brought me here today.
And of course, we're glad to have you here today. But Lana, let's talk about migration movements. And I think that we can truly say that wherever you look throughout the world, you find that people are moving from place to place. And as a matter of fact, one of the great discussions that we have today in American history and politics is what? The movement of people, immigration, migration, call it what you wish. But let's talk about the movement of people from that perspective. And then when we come to this second segment, we'll be more specific in reference to what we're talking about.
Well, the big question is, what is migration? Which is, I know a lot of viewers are asking, what really is migration? Now, the textbook definition for migration is, well, for human migration is the movement of people from one place to another, whether it be permanent, temporary, it's just the movement of people. For instance, migration could be as simple as going to work in the morning. You're moving, whether it be temporary or permanent. Now, migration can be either international, intra-regional, in all these different types that we'll get into in the next segment that describe how people move and why they move. Factors such as push and pull factors either bring people towards their country. For instance, freedom brings people to the United States, while push factors, where it could be war, famine, poverty, lack of sanitation, push people out of countries. Places like Haiti and other countries of the sort have more push factors than pull, just because of natural disaster and things that go on within the countries. Now, all these different types of migration are very, very important, especially in this day and age where we have a president who wants to end a certain type of migration, which is chain migration. And we'll get more into this in the second segment, but a basic overview of chain migration is when, or with the United States specifically, is when an American citizen can vouch for a family member in different countries to come here via green card, and whoever they bring can stay. And now Trump wants to end this because he believes that it allows uneducated and underqualified people to come into the United States, and useless people and things of the sort. But we'll get more into this in the second segment.
And so you talk about push, pull migration and all of these migration movements. And what you're saying is not only are they applicable to the United States, but anywhere in the world you find the basic kinds of migratory movements.
There's migration everywhere, every single continent, even Antarctica.
And so whatever you say about migration in reference to the United States, you can also say about migration in reference to another country or another region, but primarily migration means the movement of people from place to place. And of course, I think I like that definition. And so what we'll do, we'll wait until the second segment to get into the various forms of migration. But I think
specific migration streams.
What you call migration streams.
Yeah.
And that'll give our audience an opportunity to have an overview as you're giving now, and then we'll be able to move into that second segment and deal primarily with the various aspects of migration. And so I would like to simply say that I appreciate the overview that you've given. And when you first approached me in reference to this particular topic, I had my doubts about it, but I'm sure that what you've said so far has reassured me in a real sense that there's an essence, there's something in what you're saying in reference to this. And so what we'll do, we'll take our first commercial break, and we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break.